Welcome back to Coffee Talk, everybody. How are y'all doing? It is Moonday, November 28th, 2022, on this fine winter day. Let me just go check and see how my streams are doing really quickly. Top of the morning. Hello, everybody over there in Rockfin. Listen, my Rockfin stream today is free because I usually stream premium, but I'm streaming it free on purpose because there is a high probability that today's stream will get cut off early from YouTube today, just because of the things that have been going on, and because it does look like the censorship is going to start getting stricter again on ThemeTube. So there is a high probability that it will end early on the YouTube side. So just know that I am streaming at 5 platforms today. That does include YouTube. But if the YouTube stream gets cut off, you can go to Facebook, you can go to Twitch, you can now go to Odyssey and Rockfin. Okay? So that is it. That's the way it is. Because, you know, that's censorship. This is the times that we live in. You know, the thing that you're not supposed to talk about, that's what you're going to get censored about the most on, right? That's what they're going to put the hammer down on you for. And that's going to be the thing that actually needs to be talked about the most, in my opinion. If they don't want you talking about it, well, then you better believe that you need to be talking about it. I mean, right? Oh, don't talk about that. Well, why not? Why don't you want me to talk about that? Well, what would happen if we were to talk about that? What would happen? Anyway, over here on Rockfin so far, I see Psyop within a Psyop, Benny Boy, Mark Wantraba, Knight88, Ashley Knopp, Andrew B, Dave Hinkle, and Tonto Bongronto. Good to see y'all. And on the YouTubes, Mystical Rock Hounding Fossils, Bizwoofer, Sherry Ives, Grounded Extracts, good to see you. How are you, James and Naja, how are you doing? I know you guys weren't feeling so well, though, for a while. You were, so I haven't heard from you. It seems like y'all have been quiet. And just wondering how you guys are. And I would like to see you again sometime soon. Mellowdome, Matrix 1, Voynich, Valley Parks, Young Willie, Jay, Benny Boy. Might actually get some callers this week. Seems only YouTube viewers call in. Yeah, I know. Hi, Spicy Sarah. NH Guy. Yes. Christopher Fitz. MFT. Anyway, what's up, my fellow blue dots? So yeah, there's been a lot going on, this week. I've been getting crap again from people because I was poo-pooing the Died Suddenly documentary that came out. I mean, you guys, seriously, it came from the same people who put out the water one, the snake water documentary. That was just ridiculous. I mean, these people are hurting their own reputations with this crap. It isn't me, it's them. They're doing it. They're putting this crap out there. You can't just put... I mean, we'll have to go into it later, but I may have to cut YouTube off before we start going into that, because it is absolutely ridiculous. And we really... Everybody needs to stop, with this overproduced, none of it showed any proof. First of all, those people could have been anywhere, anybody. It's just, a lot of it was refutable. I mean, come on, people. Come on. I don't want to keep getting into it. We were just saying we miss you, Karen B. Doing great here, just doing what we do. Oh, yeah, you guys are the best. How many of you watched that Died Suddenly documentary and are like all freaky deaky about it? Sharing it to everybody. Hey, cheers, Andrew. Thank you for the tip. Hi, Ryan Q. Good to see you. Seriously, how many of you watched it? See, Odyssey people. Cool. Yeah, I'm on Odyssey now. It's kind of a pain in the butt to stream there still, but I'll do it. Because, I mean, you know, I really would like to see more people venture off of other platforms besides YouTube, because there's just certain things I can't say here. I really have to censor myself here. Really have to. Because everything I want to say is like literally outlined in their community guidelines, because they have a specific section now just for C19. So, have not watched it, never heard of it. Yeah, at least it's getting out there, but not in the right way though. Play the Stu Peters rap video. Oh my god. That's so funny. Let me see if it's probably still in my history. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. Let me see. How far back is it though now? Oh, here we go. Look at.
Make it, Stuart. You're gonna make it. My special boy.
That's supposed to be baby Stuart with his stupid little, with his green and white, or his striped shirt. Look at this, you know, just an average white baby. With his dog tags. Like that's supposed to be baby Stewie. I don't know. Look at him, he's so gangster, he's not gonna shake the record exec's hands. Right? So gangster. Look at this dude. Look at. Oh, Stewie! I don't want to play it too much because I don't want to get fucking copyright for this bullshit. I mean, look at him. This is him, is he supposed to be hard like this? Really? What is this tattoo? It looks like an Uncle Sam tattoo. What is that? I wish I could see an up-close picture of it. I really can't stand to listen to it. I'm gonna mute it though, and you guys can watch it in the background. I really can't stand it. I mean, you could just see. This is Stuart Peters, like 10 years ago. Like, what is this about? Why would somebody be doing something like this? I mean, do you really think that Stu Peters grew up in the ghetto? Like, he's really got street cred? I mean, look at him with his what is that supposed to be with his pants? Hold on, I always wanted to go back and look at that, how stupid that shit is. Hold on. What is this? Like, what is that? Oh, it's supposed to be a gun. It's like a belt buckle that looks like a little pistol. It's like Stewie's little peen. Anyway, Stu Peter. Yeah. If it's anti-vax, I don't care. I support it at this point. I'll say anything to destroy vax program, even misinfo. But misinfo ends up working against you because then mainstream people can use it to make it look like you don't know what you're talking about. And then people go, oh, look, they can't even be trusted. They, and then they go and get their shot. I mean, I get it. I feel that desperation because, so many people are falling for this crap, right? So many people are falling for it. And it's like, I've talked about this before when me and Ted were inside of one of the grocery stores and they had like a little place in there. They had their pharmacy in there and someone was in there getting juiced up. Dude, it was so cringy. It was cringy to even watch it, to look at it. I was like, oh my God, dude. It made me ill just to watch somebody doing it. And I get the desperation of telling people to not do it. But I don't know. I just don't, that whole thing, they could have spent, here's my opinion, actually. Okay, here's my problem with it. They spent all that time and all that effort and I don't know how much money to make that documentary to scare people out of getting basically it looks like to scare people, right? To make people who, but only we're going to watch it. Only people who don't want to get it are going to watch it. I mean, how many people, 4 or 5 million people? And then how many people have actually gotten juiced up in this country? And then are they going to see it? And then what if they do see it? Then they're just going to be all freaked out, like their body, it's just going to add more anxiety to them. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, why couldn't they have spent the time, the effort, and the money, and the resources, and the reach to make a documentary that even questions the very existence of these things that they say exist that we have no proof of? And I'm trying so hard to say it in a way where they won't give me another strike, because I just got a strike for this, you guys. You can't even question the existence of it. You can't say anything. You cannot say anything about it. You can't say that it isn't severe. You can't, I went through this on my coffee talk that I did last week that wasn't on YouTube because I got a strike because of the stuff that they say that you can't say on YouTube. So why don't they make a documentary that goes back to that? Why don't you cut the proverbial head off of the snake? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's question the whole science behind the whole juice program to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're saying that you need to get the juice to protect people from XYZ thing that gets inside you and makes you sick. Well, they haven't proven the existence of XYZ thing that gets inside you and makes you sick. So why aren't we going there? Why aren't we going back to the very beginning? Why aren't we going back to the question that needs to be asked, the proof that needs to be given, the thing that needs to be said to truly remove the fear, the mind virus from people? What part of the film do you think is misinfo? Okay, well, did you read this article? Okay, well, we're gonna have to get into this. I'm not, man, I don't know how long we're gonna be on YouTube. Because I will get into that. I will get into that. Exactly. So here's my thing. Why aren't they going and talking about that? They need to be talking about that. They need to be talking about that. That's what they need to be making documentaries about. I mean, and then and a lot of the video clips that they showed in there were people that it wasn't even related to the vaccine. It wasn't even related to that. You know what I'm saying? You can't conflate things. Too many things get conflated. Like conflation, is that a word? Conflation? Conflation is rampant in everything. Everything gets all mixed together. You know, it's like even in mainstream when the people who are supposed to know what they're talking about talk about things. They talk about a virus and then they talk about antibiotics. Antibiotics treat bacterial infections, not viral infections. Viruses aren't even alive. They're not even alive. So it's just, you know, I remember growing up and when I went to school, I was told that to get a virus, it had to be injected into you or through sexual contact or exchange of bodily fluids. When did it change? When did it start living on plastic for 3 weeks? When did it start causing bacterial pneumonia? You know? Conflation is a word? Thank you. Okay, good. Yeah, they're dead right. Okay? So that's what we need to be talking about. That's the one thing they don't want you talking about, because once that conversation gets started and once people start going down that rabbit hole, everything starts becoming unraveled, you know? Everything starts coming unraveled. It's like why we all started talking about, hey, did you know the earth is flat? Because it is the foundation of all the lies. It's the foundation upon which all the lies become possible, because they have completely removed your compass, your connection to what is real, to the creation, to the creator. You know, you have no bearing. You're just out in space. There's no up and down. Like seriously, they do it on purpose. But once you know we're not on a ball in space and we are geocentric, like we are at the center of our universe, and that this place is here for us, well then a lot less things become viable, a lot less things become things become meaningless that meant a lot before, and vice versa, right? It's the spell breaker. It's the spell breaker. We have to break the spell. The original spell cast is there is mystery bugs, mystery things that come out from outside you and get inside you and make you sick. That's the original spell. So that's why we have to get rid of it. We have to go there and debunk it and break that spell. But everybody's over here going, oh, look at all the bad things. We already know there's bad things happening. We already know that you shouldn't be doing these things. We already know, like from day one, before we even saw this, like, did we not all know this was going to happen? Didn't we know this? We all knew this was going to happen from the very beginning. I was already anti-vax. I was already there before this even came around. Already there. Right? I was already there. Where have you been? Where have you people been? We already knew they were bad. So let's cut the head off the snake. Do you know what I'm saying? Exactly. They do keep talking like, exactly. That is the literal definition of controlled opposition. They are the literal definition of it. Their fucking pictures should be in the dictionary under controlled opposition. They act like they're such good guys, like they're on your side, like they're exposing all the evil, right? No, they're not. Anyway. This is my gripe. You know, it's like when Matt Landman is bitching about geoengineering and chemtrails and shit. And people start talking about the fires. They started the fires. They started the fires. And he's like, you guys don't get it. They can make it rain. They can make it rain. Doesn't matter. They can make it rain. Anyway. So that's my problem with that. Maybe we don't have to go. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we don't have to go over that anymore. We can go over. We can always go get off YouTube and we can watch parts of it, parts of that movie on other, and really get into it. If you guys want to, we could do a live deconstruction of it. Yeah. But they started that program, the vaccine program started in the 60s though. It's been going on since the 60s. And remember, the whole thing with them giving all those black people syphilis in the shots because they said that they were giving them free health care? Yeah. Whatever syphilis is. Jeez. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Anyway. Let me... Whoops. Hold on. And it's funny because everybody makes such a big deal about these documentaries. Like, really, what does anybody learn from that? What is anybody going to learn from that? They're just going to freak out about the one type of juice, right? But all of their juice concoctions are bad. All of them. All their juice concoctions are bad.
Welcome to the conference center. You are a host.
All right. I've opened my phone lines. It's 848-222-2480. If anybody wants to call in. And if you want to talk about the subject that I was just talking about, please try to use code words because we are on the poop tube. We are on the censorship poop tube train. All speech must be censored until we get off. Yeah. Way back, right? Right. They were experimenting long before, right? But they didn't start making like a program where they required people to have it until the 60s. Which happened shortly after they discovered the blood-brain barrier. Or was it the 40s? 60s. I think it was 60s. They figured out that they discovered the blood-brain barrier was like almost non-existent in children under 2. And then that's when, and we all know that there is a round of juice that needs to be given to them by the age of 2. That's when the first round is done. My friend has had tremors and seizures since the 2. Oof. They want to keep you in perpetual fear. Exactly. This is what we need to work against, is them keeping people living in perpetual fear. And it's like even people, and I started, kind of skimming around on live streams and people, and I noticed like people who aren't even in, this, whatever this is, because I don't even know what to call it anymore. But whatever this is, people who aren't looking for this information or who aren't aware of this information have seen, it's reached outside of the normal circle a little bit. And those people are they're all bummed out. They're all freaked out. It's just causing anxiety. It's putting out a vibration of anxiety, a frequency of anxiety, fear, hopelessness, desperation. This is what they're doing when they put stuff out like this. And so it's just my personal opinion that it is much more beneficial to us and more productive if we put out things that, make us ask the right questions and give us, and put out that vibe of, hey, what's really going on here? Maybe we can find an answer. And maybe it is as simple as just saying no to their stuff, People need to be given that empowerment, that mindset. And the only way that people are going to get that empowerment, that mindset, is if they are armed with the truth. He goes into the whole thing. I love his stuff. No, I've not. Will you email me a link to that book, please, Josh? At KarenBFE@protonmail.com. People, yeah, well, maybe they do need a shock to the system, but there's different ways to do it. There's different ways to do it. I mean, you guys can try that route and see how it works out for you. I just don't. I mean, I've been here for 7 years, 8 years almost. 8 years I've been doing this, and I've been talking to hundreds of thousands of people. Who knows? I don't know how many people. I can't even remember now. But, me personally, I don't like being talked to like that. I don't like being scared or intimidated into something. I just don't like that. I don't respond well to that. It's why I never really liked watching people like Richie from Boston, okay? Because I didn't like being yelled at and like, rah, 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 rah. You should be afraid of this and afraid of that. Like, I just don't respond well to that. But that's me. Maybe everybody responds to something different. But I feel like people need to be armed with the truth. And then there was one comment too on my Facebook from somebody, and they were like, and I was like, well, we need to be talking about, what I just explained, right? And this person who is like a flat earther and supposedly someone who is a speaker of truth is like, well, the masses aren't ready for that conversation yet. What? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. The masses aren't ready for that conversation yet. Who the fuck is ever ready for anything? I wasn't ready, or at least I didn't consider myself ready when I got woke up to things like flat earth and all the other crap that I had to look at and go through and realize was going on in this place. I didn't nobody said, hey, are you ready now for us to show you all of this horrible shit that's going on and all these lies that are being told? Are you ready? Do you think you can handle it? Do you think you can handle it? No, it got smacked right in my freaking face. It was slapped in my face. And I was just like, oh my God. And for a couple of weeks, it was rough, man. I'm not going to lie. It was rough. But you know what? People, that was the shock to my system. And you know what? People do need to go through that. But, the way that I woke up, it wasn't somebody telling me lies, It wasn't a fearmonger thing. I watched a video that showed evidence and told me to ask questions. And so I did. I went and I asked questions. And then when I realized what the answers were, I was like, holy shit balls, right? That's what we need to do. We need to get these people to want to know the truth. You know? Ask these questions. Not everybody's going to go there. I mean, we already know that. You need to be armed with guns, sister. Hey, you're not wrong. Yeah. The globalists are fucking everything up. But we have to, but there's no globe, see? That's exactly the thing I said at the end of my first video that I made that was about Flat Earth. My Path to Flat Earth. At the very end, it says, the globalists need a globe. But once you realize they don't have one, it's game over. Too happy wasting time on Facebook. Right, and Facebook is crawling with that freaking died suddenly crap. Right? Facebook is crawling with it. Not me not falling for crap. Don't plan to either. I'm going over to Rockfin to see what y'all are talking about. The stats about excess deaths are quite interesting and not in a good way. Yeah, there is truth in that documentary. I'm not going to say they didn't put stuff that is true in there, but they mixed it with enough BS that I don't think it's going to be effective. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. It's not going to be effective. Happy Monday, everyone. Yes, I agree. The germ theory is a blah. Yes. Just show me a jar. Yeah, you prescribe antibiotics like candy and you don't even have an infection. I'm telling you, I haven't taken... The last few times doctor tried to give me antibiotics, I just didn't even take it. Hi, Bex. Cheers. Thank you for the support. Yeah. Yeah, just I don't even take it. Terrain the film, that was shot. Yes. Terrain the film, exactly. Hey, very good. I agree. We should be talking Terrain the film. Yes. But you know what? I feel like Terrain, I don't know how many views did Terrain the film get? Is it on Odyssey? I don't even know. That should be going viral for sure. It's too late for the ones that were deceived into killing themselves. No point in waking up a dead or dying. Right? Well, and let me ask you this, Nora. With that being said, and then you put out this video. They put out this video, right? Like what I was saying, it's putting out this like frequency of fear, like more. It's like adding layers on top of that, right? These people are already living in fear, right? Because they are afraid of this thing. That's why they went and did what they were told, by the TV. So then what does this do? This just adds a layer of fear and anxiety on top of everything that's already happening as a result of the last 2.5, almost 3 years now. Right? We're getting closer to 3 years than we are to 2 at this point. So then what are they doing by releasing a film like that? Are they trying to hasten things? Do you think that this is part of the plan to add another layer of efficacy to what they've already done to people? Is this just another underlying layer, right? Because if anybody who comes across that, they must be looking into alternative things or have friends who look into alternative things and maybe sent it to them, right? So it's like just that very surface layer of getting beneath what the truth of the matter is, right? So these people are already kind of teetering. They've already been living in fear, and then they see this. I mean, to me, it's just like maybe it could possibly be just another psychological tool to add another layer of efficacy to what they've already done to the masses through psychosomatic suggestion. You know? You got to think about it. Think about it, what these people are doing, because nothing is cut and dry. This is a psychological, spiritual war. And it is not just like, that guy's wearing red and that guy's wearing blue. You shoot that guy. We shoot at them. They shoot at us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that simple anymore. It's not that simple. So just to know if we got it. Yeah. But yet so deadly enough to close down the world and force. Exactly. The whole thing is psychotic. And why aren't we asking these questions? Instead, we're focusing on what they want us to focus on. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. All right. Well, hey, looky here. We got a caller. Isn't that fantastic? Let me just make sure my sound is good. All right. Thanks for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Morning, Queen B. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing better. I'm getting some rest now. Spent the whole week building a porch for my aunt. Got that done. Back home. Glad to see the Coffee Talk show is on.
Nice. That's a lot of work, building a deck. What did you say, a deck?
Yeah, 10 by 12. It's a small porch.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to get you caught up on a couple of things. Peter Jarvio, he was headed to Illinois State University for this week, but he had car problems 50 miles away from home, so he's pretty much canceled that for the week, just to let you know. But he's been out there still flat smacking at the universities and colleges. Just want to give him a shout out because he's doing amazing work trying to wake up these sheeple and these students, our future generation, as you call it.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to touch up on the baby shower.
Yes.
It's going to be held. Yeah, it's going to be held. You're throwing the baby shower. You and Spicy Sarah throwing the baby shower for Witsit and Kai this Saturday, December 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
The address it's at it's in Spartanburg. It's the Sterling Estates Clubhouse. It's 535 Sterling Drive in Spartanburg, 29316 from 2 until. Right, and I think we're going to be there earlier, right, Karen? To set up and things like that.
Yeah, and then what? You were telling people to arrive at 2? Is it 2 p.m. still?
Yeah, that's when we're going to start. But I mean, if they want to come earlier, that'd be fine, right, Karen?
Sure.
What do you think?
I mean, I guess so.
Okay, the more the merrier.
I don't mind if y'all don't mind.
Yeah. I think we can get in there as early as 9:00 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To set up and everything.
I won't be there that early.
So we have the whole day. Yeah. What time you want to come out? I'll be there Thursday night. Because I've got to get up there for my son's soccer tournament, which starts at 8 a.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. So I won't be back to the Spartanburg until around 10:30.
Okay.
On Saturday. Okay.
Okay.
And we have to set up. I've got to go get the food ready and everything. And if you guys want to set up, that'd be great.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. And
I'll probably get there like around.
But other than that,
around that time, I would probably end up getting there around 11 or noon. Would probably be.
Okay, that's cool. That give us some time still, to set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and can you tell people like maybe they have a registry, right, Karen?
They
with
do.
And Kai?
Let me put the link in the chat. They have a registry. You can send them a gift card through this link, I believe. If anybody, and you can even do it if you're not going to go. If you want to
Right.
send Kai and Austin a little gift for their newborn baby. Kai and Austin Whitsitt.
Yeah. That would be great. Anyone, want to support, help out Kai and Whitsitt and get them some baby things, please do, if you can. And anyone near the Greenville, Spartanburg, or anywhere else want to come, feel free to come. We're all welcome. I know, I think FE Nation is coming out there, so he's coming all the way from Knoxville.
Who's coming from Knoxville?
Carl, it's a FE Nation.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he'll be coming out. He's going to spend a day with us and hang out.
Awesome.
Yep. I think Starry Ives may come out. She's up in Asheville. And I've sent some, information to Greenville and Spartanburg, Anderson area locals, to see if they wanted to come out. So anyone out there listening, just, it's open to all the flat earthers nearby or from far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. If you're within driving distance, come hang out.
Yep, exactly. I'm getting ready to start on my foods now. I've got to prep that by tomorrow. So, okay, I'll have everything ready, and we're gonna have a good time. So come on and hang out. It'll be a baby shower / FE meetup too.
There you go.
It's gonna be a fun time. Okay.
All
okay,
right.
Queen V.
All
Hope you have a nice day. I'll listen in.
All right. Thanks, Law.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye.
No problem. Later's all.
There you go. Dr. Law. Dr. Law. We are unique, one of a kind. We that see the supernatural changes. Yeah. Oh, so many people went to sleep. That got manhandled. What? Yeah. Yeah, it's it's hard, man. Not everybody's going to have the eyes to see. It's free on here. Okay, I am in the Odyssey chat says that Terrain the film is on Odyssey for free. So there you go. You can go watch Andrew Kaufman's film Terrain for free. So there you go. Check it out. I don't even talk to globe monkeys anymore. It's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Although, more people are becoming open. Did you guys see last night that Eddie Flat Earth Banjo USA guy was live streaming with some guy who woke up to Flat Earth recently because of COVID, because of the lockdown, and he had so much time on his hands, and he woke up to Flat Earth. Isn't that cool? I thought that was good. Yes. I went to hit the like button for you, Karen, after Voy mentioned it. Well, thank you, Voy, for telling everybody to hit the like button. I appreciate that. Benny boy, that's how I went flat too. Was it during COVID? Lockdown got some time on your hands. It's funny when you have time on your hands and you start getting curious and you start looking into the stuff you can come across, because, that's how I did it. I was having babies and I was sitting there on the computer with my little babies, being a mom, breastfeeding. And I was like, oh, what's this? Yeah, man. It's good times. Got another caller. Let's say hi. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. How are you?
Doing really well. How about you?
I'm just great.
That's awesome. So I found a peer-reviewed article that says science never proves anything. What are your thoughts about that statement right there?
That science never proves anything. Yeah, I've heard that before. I think it's funny.
Yeah. I heard it and I was just like, wow. Okay, so globe earthers, they've got two major statements that they just cling to like crazy. One, if a peer-reviewed article says something, they've got to agree with it. They can't argue it. That's like their Bible. They can't argue with mainstream science claims, especially from peer-reviewed articles. Okay. The second thing that they always cling to is there's 100% proof that the Earth is a globe. So with that right there, they're kind of caught in the middle of a crux where they've got to choose which one am I going to sacrifice. Am I going to sacrifice the proof that the Earth is a globe, or am I going to sacrifice my loyalty to peer-reviewed articles? So, yeah, I've noticed that just kind of presenting that is just monumental. It's crazy. Just like the kind of watching people in that situation have to decide one or the other, the major trolls out there. So I went and took that to Mr. Sensible, and I asked him, okay, which one is it? Loyalty to the peer-reviewed article, or are you going to sacrifice your 100% proof that the Earth is a globe? And I got him to fully admit that he has no proof of a globe whatsoever. And I was like, whoa, that one just totally floored me. And yeah, so I'm like, wow, okay, well, that's a really good door opener, because now he has to admit that the Earth could be flat, and that's humongous progress. Then no, there's no possible way whatsoever. And so, yeah, huge right there for sure.
Mm-hmm. That is huge. It's good that they're at least honest enough to admit that. It's good that they're at least honest enough to admit that. That's a huge thing for globies.
Yeah, it's fun. So, yeah, it doesn't matter whether you agree with the whole claim with the peer-reviewed article or not, but that right there, it's still a valuable, piece of information to have, just because, yeah, it just opens doors. Oh, okay, so, yeah, now they have to accept the possibility. Now, I haven't seen any that have decided to, oh, okay, well, maybe they're wrong about that. I haven't seen that yet, but if they did embrace that, then I'm totally cool with that too. It's a win-win victory for us. Whether they want to, deny the peer-reviewed article, and yeah, that's a win unto itself as well. But I don't know, it's fun either way, as I said.
That's funny. So I just went into the search engine and I typed, "Can science prove anything?" And there's an article here from April 19th, 2016 that says science doesn't prove anything, and that's a good thing.
It's so funny when you really kind of dive into it. And for me, I'm dead set against that, because I firmly believe that science can prove that I have a right arm. And I brought that up with Mr. Sensible, but with him I brought up cats. Is it possible for me to prove that my cat eats food? And he thought about it and squirmed about it, and it's like, no, it's not possible to prove that your cat eats food. And I was just like, what? No way. It just blew my mind when, yeah, it was like, you can feel if you can watch the cat put food into its mouth, you can watch it fall out of its mouth. You could kind of put your hand up next to its mouth and kind of feel it chewing the food if you wanted to. Yeah, if you really needed to, you could cut its stomach open and find the food inside its stomach, and none of that would prove that your cat eats food. And he's like, no. I was like, I just don't know what to say about that. Yeah, it just kind of floored me.
That is interesting. But how does science prove that, though? Like, what science? But it's just an observation, right? You observe it happen, therefore it's happening, right? That's all it is. It's an observation.
Science is systematized knowledge in general. So it's just a series of observations. That's all science is. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. But there's all kinds of stuff. Does science never absolutely prove anything? It's weird. Like when I search that, I've never searched that before, but there's so many things that say science can't prove anything. There's no such thing as proof in the scientific world.
I still think, I look at the cat and it's like, okay, so I'm doing a series of tests, finding out my cat's favorite food. Does it like beef more or does it like chicken more? And so that kind of a question requires knowledge that the cat eats food at all. You know, I can't like beef more if it can't be confirmed that it's actually eating beef. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just a bunch of silly tests, but those silly tests actually amount to something. You know what I mean? They actually mean something. And yeah, just as simple as whether or not my cat eats a particular kind of food. And so,
right. Yeah, you're right. This is such a cop-out when you think about it. You know, because if you go back and try to refute them scientifically about their globe, and then they go, oh, well, science doesn't prove anything. Ha! Like, what kind of BS is that? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's the funny thing is they continually like bring it up. Hey, well, where's your proof that the Earth is flat? Where's your proof that the Earth is flat? And so I'm like, so that's when I bring up, do you believe science can prove anything? And so I can just kind of bring it up like that. And are you telling me that you believe science proves things? And then I show them the article, and they're like, no, I don't believe science proves anything. So why are you even asking me? Why are you asking me, where's your proof that the Earth is flat if you don't believe proof exists? And so, yeah, it's kind of a fun little turnaround right there. Kind of, yeah, calling out trolls when you see them.
Yep, exactly. That's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been talking about that one for weeks now, just kind of, on my debate board and just random people on Facebook and whatnot. But yeah, it's just like nonstop entertainment, just kind of watching people respond to that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Anything else, Kyle? Still doing meetups?
I think that was it. Yeah, we got December 10th is the Utah Flat Earth meetup, and it's the biggest one that we hold in Utah. They've got like a whole committee behind it, and last year they did in the same area, and they had like 200 people show up, if not more. It filled the room. Great. It was awesome, and so I'm really looking forward to this. And so, yeah, I'll be speaking about that, and I'm going to be talking about this whole thing and reading the article, because there are parts of the article that I just am adamantly against, such as this whole part on science never proves anything. I'm just adamantly against about that. And so I'm going to talk about that, but then there's a whole bunch of other parts of the article that I actually do agree with. And so, yeah, I'll be exploring that for a good 40 minutes or so. So it's fun. Just kind of going into the deep details.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then after that, I think I'm going to get the video published on that. But I think kind of when there's a group meetup like that, my plan isn't to just do all the talking, but to actually open it up to the group and get other people, chiming in and hearing their thoughts as well. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of part of the fun about group meetups instead of just online, because I can just talk on and on online, but I don't really get to hear as much from other people unless I go live or something like that. But yeah,
right, exactly. Nothing better than being with your people in real life.
yeah. There's a little bit of a different experience when it's at a meetup in live, because people are going to be much more respectful, obviously, and yeah, there's not very many trolls who actually show up to the live meetups, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously people are going to be way more respectful in person than they are online.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Not too many problems. All right. So I played your the Mark's got your ad for your meetup on his channel Saturday, December 10th. Yeah. utahfe@gmail.com.
Yeah, and they'll give you the address and all that stuff right there. But it's in Draper. That's the major city. I don't even know the exact address yet, but I'll find out on my way there. It's
All
yeah.
right. Well, cool. Hope you have a good turnout. You guys have a good time over there.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
Right on. Thanks, Kyle.
Hey, thank you. It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. All right, later.
All right, later.
There you go. Mark's got a lot of meetup things over here. Let's see. What does he got? Canada, Alberta, Canada, November 26. Oh, that's over. Sorry, my bad. New Zealand, December 4th. Auckland, New Zealand, December 4th, Flat Earth Meetup. 1:32 whenever. Let's see, who is it? Who's putting this one on? Marking his slideshows. Murray's Bay on the North Shore. Email John, flat.earth@mail.com. That's pretty cool. New Zealand. And yeah. I guess that's it. Alrighty. Oh, we have another caller. Let's say hi, shall we? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hello, Karen B. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
It's great talking to you. I've never talked to you guys before, but, been, how should I say, following this for quite a long time, off and on for many years. And I've been in contact with Jaron when he was doing the, what was he doing? I was signing up for the Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was curious why, I think on this last Tuesday, you and Mark weren't on, and I figured, well, they're gone, or something happened, and I figured, well, maybe they just didn't make it, or it didn't happen, or maybe I missed it. I'm not sure. But
well, no, my main channel got a strike, and so I wasn't able to stream for a week.
That's what I...
Yeah, and I did stream it to my backup channel. Yeah. So.
In school for a week. Hey, let me tell you, one of the things about all this is I'm a little bit older than you guys, and since I've been a kid, and I used to tell people this, I'm an astrologer. I've been, watching this progress of Pluto through Capricorn, and of course Capricorn is structures and the basic structure of everything. And I used to tell people many years ago, when Pluto goes into Capricorn, what Pluto and Leo was us, the generation that was so self-centered that we blew the Pluto and Cancer generation, the very solid World War II generation, out of their socks by being really into our own thing. We completely upset the whole apple cart. And then Pluto went through Virgo, and things started to get healed a little bit. By the time it went into Scorpio, that's when the whole AIDS thing started, the whole sexual, complete revolution there of death, which relates to Pluto and underworld and all this stuff that it seems to be hard to see. At that time, I figured by the time it goes into Capricorn, and Capricorn is structures, all the structures are going to be blown apart. And that's kind of what's been happening. When it went through Sagittarius, it drew out all the religious and ideas, and the secrets just started to get exposed, and that's still been happening. And now it's at a point where it's so convoluted and upside down, and completely upside down, which has been our whole life. This whole thing has been upside down forever. So we're just beginning to realize it. But by the time it got into Capricorn and started blowing the structures apart, that's what we're seeing now, to the point where they've got people believing that you can have a boy's body and send him into a girl's pool, and people are actually watching that happen. It's incredible. It's incredible that it's that topsy-turvy. I even in my wildest dreams back in the day didn't think it would get that topsy-turvy, but it did. So the other thing I used to realize, this is when I was a little kid, that all the structures that were around us were all BS. So I took time when I was younger to erase all this whole Christmas, Easter, holiday, birthday. To me, that was all BS. It was all as created and weird as everything else in this particular reality. So I got to the point where I got so detached from everything that a lot of times on Thanksgiving I'd fast. I've been doing that for years. In other words, I went against the whole, whatever everybody was doing, I consciously tried to do something else. It's a kind of a painful way to live, really. But when you really look at what's going on, the structures that are set up by the time those little babies you have are being actually programmed like a little computer before they even know it. So by the time you're 10 or 11, as wise as you might think you'd be, you're completely programmed. And it takes a long time to erase all that stuff. So that's why the Zen people will say every day, rather than learn something, you unlearn. You have to, it's like layer after layer of BS on top of you as you grow older and older. It's just more and more to the point where that's your world. Your world is BS. And then when you uncover one or two things, you think, oh, big deal, I did that. And you think it's a revelation. You just took like 2 blankets out of hundreds that are on you off, which is good. But as you get down to the very truth of it, you realize the reason people have all those blankets on them is that when you really see what it's like to be free, when you really see what it's like to be liberated and away from all your mind, the prison that you're in, as soon as you get out and walk into that sunshine or come out of Plato's cave, wherever you might want to talk about it, that is intensely frightening. In other words, you realize, wait a minute, this whole thing is all structures. You blow your structures out and you step out there. That's why people come back in and they're happy. They're happy to be into the fold where you're safe and you're with people who all agree with whatever you agree with and find your little clique and everything, because that freedom, to look into the glare of that freedom is intense. And people don't really want that. And the human being, because at this point in our evolution, we're basically still a kind of a herd group thing. So as soon as you step out of the herd group thing, that's a problem. And if you do try to step out of it, Gurdjieff used to say when the whole thing was happening back in Russia, he was part of that whole Bolshevik overthrow in Russia. And he was telling people when they would ask him, how do people be free? I don't know if you know who Gurdjieff is. You probably do. But he was a mystic, Armenian mystic in the late 1800s. And Ouspensky wrote it. There's a number of books. The Ouspensky, Gurdjieff information is pretty much all you need to know if you really read about what's going on, because he really talked about how all the changes on the planet are from the outer planets and the movement of these big outer movement planets like Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, these wide-ranging planetary changes. And they change, it's almost like they control us like some kind of spell. Literally, it is a spell. We're all under a spell. And you come out of one spell, you're still in another spell. Until you get to that point where you don't have any spells, and then you look around and you go, whoa, and you freak out. That's kind of like when you wake up. My one teacher used to say that a lot of people, when they wake up, especially when you're older, if you really do wake up, he would say a lot of the heart attacks you hear about, or a lot of the people, this was pre all this nonsense we're going through now, people are dying from this whole thing going on. But pre that, a lot of people would wake up and they'd realize stuff, and it was such a shock, they'd have a heart attack or a stroke, or your body can't take the hit. That's one of the reasons you do yoga and you get yourself in shape, because if you really do start to wake up and that Kundalini does rise and you feel that, your body better be in good shape, because it is a hit. So you see that and it will throw you for a loop. And sure enough, a lot of times people see that and just get a little peek of it and they come right back into their cave and they don't want to go out again. So there's a lot of people that'll try something, and it's like a lot of people take a hit of acid or they'll smoke pot, and they'll see a reality that wakes them up from their sleep, and they are freaked. And they'll tell people, don't do that. That's horrible stuff. So you see, as you start to wake up, it's something different than the world you're in. And when you wake up and you start to see these things, all of a sudden the people around you or the situation you are in is completely different. So the people, and try to talk to people about it, try to talk to anybody about it. I used to talk to people. I used to feel really weird because I used to like to be alone in the holidays. I always liked the holidays because it was the only time that people were so preoccupied that they'd leave me alone and I'd have some peace. Because really, people get so stirred up around the holidays, and it's a great time. Like right now is a great time to fast, to go in, to really look at stuff. Because people are so under the spell of these stupid holidays. Now, I have no... If people like the holidays and get together with their family, I think that's great. Personally, I think it's great. But a lot of times people get together with their family, and there's nothing but discord and BS there, too. So when does it all end? When does all that BS end? So the other conclusion I came to, say we did live in a perfect world. Say we lived in a world where you didn't have all these rip-out artists in this particular matrix taking advantage of us all, because that's what they're doing. You just have a bunch of, they're probably off-world, in-between world, semi-astral, whatever, entities. Like Richard Rose used to say, he says, when I meet people, he was one of the teachers I worked with, he would say, when I see people walking in, he says, I see people and I see them, and then around them I see like a bunch of suckerfish. If you can imagine a moray eel or one of these things. He says, that's what I see. So you got all these people and you're having your energy pumped out by all these critters that take your energy away because you willingly give it to them. You want to call it loosh, whatever you want to call it. The energy that is your bodily function is what, what your aura. You don't want to poke holes in your aura. Almost everything pokes holes in your aura. So you want to keep your energy together. And then you can become stronger. And then you can escape this illusion. So even if we lived in a world where people were friendly, people got along, say we lived in the earth and this probably exists somewhere. You are incarnated. You're in a physical body. You're in a world where people are cooperative. People get along. There's a lot of joy. There's a lot of music. There's a lot of, you can imagine it, getting along instead of not getting along. Nonetheless, if you looked around one morning and you realized, wait a minute, I'm incarnated, I'm in a body, you're still under an illusion and you're still under you're still in prison. Even in that, you're in prison. So the thing about it is, if you think that getting rid of all that stuff's going to make you free, no. The fact you're here, no matter the circumstances, you still have to wake up. And then ultimately, after being angry and pissed off for so many years, which this does make you, actually, I understand why people can get so pissed off they start swinging ball bats or jumping around or shooting guns. After a while, you realize the only thing you really have control over is your mind. And when you figure that out and you patch all the holes in, you realize, well, now I'm dealing with a bunch of angry children. That's what you're dealing with every day. It's easier for me to realize I'm dealing with a bunch of really angry, hostile children. And I can have some compassion and kind of look at it in a different way. Not that everybody is, but most people are. It's rare I'll meet somebody that's actually awake enough that they can even understand the beginnings of certain things that I might want to talk about. But it's okay. I'll talk to them or be with them on whatever the level they are and enjoy it. It was back in the 80s when we would have discussions. One of the group reach outs we would do, this was in the mid 80s or so. We would have people gathered around a room, and we would have just once a week, we would have these discussions. And we were part of a group, and we would advertise them. We had at a library, and we'd somewhere get 10 or 12 people. Or we would pick a topic. Usually, it was a topic about, just general questions that were metaphysical in a way. What are the things in your life that are more important than other things? Or we would start delving into a subject. And what amazed me at the time, and what made me think that this was all crazy, is that we would start to talk about a fairly deep subject, and people in the room, even though they were interested in this stuff, and they're interested enough to come out on an evening. If you think about it, that was a lot to do. Come out in the evening and spend 2 hours in a library room where you could be at home. So at least the people cared enough to try. The discussions could get so crazily off the topic. People had no ability to even dig below the grass line in the dirt to start digging in. They didn't have the tools. They weren't taught the tools. We were never taught any of this in school. We were taught only in school, nothing important. That's what I remember about school. Everything important I wanted to know was off the table. Everything that was useless and stuff I had no conception of even knowing. Like right now, how much product Portugal made in the 1960s and 70s and what their main export was. That's the kind of stuff we were studying. Meaningless, totally meaningless. And yet the important things, like what are you doing here? Who are you? How do you control yourself? Major things, how to get along. And then the other biggest bugaboo, whatever, was sex. Nobody wanted to talk anything about sex or death or anything important. So that's been going on forever. The flat earth, when I saw the flat earth, I thought, wow, I wonder if that's actually the case. And then I began to realize, of course, NASA, the whole moon thing, all of that. Mm-hmm. It's all been deception. But, like I say, even in the ideal world, it's still deception. Because the first thing I learned studying Eastern philosophy was a word called Maya, M-A-Y-A. So they knew it a long time ago. The idea is that pretty much everything you see, everything on a certain perceptual level is important to you, but it's a form of deception. So, and right now, when I think of flat Earth, there's so many people. I wonder why in the NDEs or in some of the people that literally astral travel look back and see is it actually what is it when you look back from space? But then I think, well, when you're looking back from space from the astral, it's probably hard to tell shapes and whatever. Anyway, you're in a different realm, and it would be confusing. So it may be the case that flat Earth is another one of those things where you're just gathering a group of people together under a certain common umbrella of deception and agreeing on that deception. But the whole thing is deception. So it's one within the other, within the other, within the other.
Yeah.
And like I say, if you start to really see it, anything you start to take apart, like your previous caller was saying, anything you look in long enough, anything scientific, if you look long enough into any proof, what does the word proof even mean? What does any word mean? If you look at anything hard enough, it all disappears. It's kind of cool that way. But
yeah.
Well, that was annoying. At any rate,
At any rate, are you in California?
I am in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Actually, my phone is a Santa Cruz phone because that's the 831. But I moved to Oregon. I've been moving back and forth from Santa Cruz to Oregon for a while, and rainy and cold here today. I don't know what it is there, but we're into this kind of wet period.
Yeah.
And
it's been like that around here all week.
But at any rate, are you guys going to be on tomorrow?
Strange World, yes, we'll be on tomorrow. On this channel. I do have a backup channel. It's called Unveiling This Realm. You should subscribe to that. If this channel ever gets a strike, I try to stream to that as a backup, just so you guys know. And then also there's Twitch, Facebook, Rockfin, and Odyssey.
I've never ever been on Facebook ever. So when I saw that come along, I figured that's not good.
Yeah,
so,
Facebook sucks.
Never been on Facebook.
It does suck, but there's other
What's that?
places too. Yeah, I don't like Facebook either, but Twitch is
Yeah.
a good for streaming program, and there's others. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow.
So, yeah, cool. Well, I appreciate you letting me kind of go off like that. It was, well, like I say, that's kind of what I've learned. And over the years, I think the biggest thing that has helped me through when I actually going through existential stuff, reading Dostoevsky and reading all the heavyweights back in existentialism back in the day, those guys, because I was a philosophy major too, way back when that whole delusion of school was another whole thing. I remember telling my philosophy teacher I wanted to go into grad school, and I was talking to him about metaphysical things. And he was like the head of the department. And I said, well, look, why don't you let me talk about, because Plato and Plotinus were really into this whole out of body and other worlds information, which I was really into. Robert Monroe, I was really into reading Robert Monroe at the time. And if you're familiar with him, Journeys Out of the Body, he ended up with he's dead now, but the place in Virginia where they do the feedback.
Oh, I know what you're
sound.
talking about, the Monroe Institute, and they did that whole Gateway program. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so what he was doing, he was just bouncing. He was using tones, left and right, connecting the left and the right brain, and
the binaural
some of those
beats.
are still really powerful.
Yeah, binaural beats, right?
Yes, the beats. Exactly. That's probably what happens when you do go out of your body anyway. You feel that whoosh. I felt that a number of times right before you go to sleep, or that paralyzing feeling. Like I say, even the beginning of that freaks people out. Once you sense that, sometimes people go out of their body one time, or they have one experience like that. It so freaks them out that they don't want that. But that's the freedom. That's the reality. And you have to really consciously break all these chains and get away from it, from the conditioning. The conditioning is so strong, and it's so subtle that the very act of trying to break the conditioning can be conditioning. You see what I'm saying? You see how it plays on itself. It's almost like when you try to get away, it's almost like it plays with you and say, oh yeah, you can get away. So, like Gurdjieff used to say, people spend their whole life decorating their prison cell, and you get it nice and fancy, and you get all these cool things in there, and you have a little god you pray to, and all that's in your prison cell. But you're in your prison cell. That was his conclusion, that people are asleep, and they don't want to wake up, and it's hard to wake them up. And that was the other thing I was thinking when he was saying people can wake up in little cadres. You can get together, and you can wake up in little cadres, but it goes against the big plan to have everybody wake up. You can only wake up by slipping through. Don't plan on having everybody wake up or the whole thing waking up. You'll be lucky if you even see the light a little bit, let alone, try to take somebody with you. He also thought you had to have somebody who was already awake, or you'll just, blind pigs in a field, just go running around thinking you're getting somewhere. But so to wake up or to actually see all this is a real dedicated effort, and the goal can be frightening.
Yeah. Yes.
And as far as the astrological Pluto going into Aquarius, it's going to be very interesting, because Pluto right now, that's the other thing, the history repeating itself. Right now, Pluto is at the same point, very similar place that it was back in that whole revolutionary
right, when the United States was born and all that stuff, right? Yeah.
Exactly right. It's coming back to its own place. In other words, it is in its own place right about now. In other words, you've had a Pluto return. That's a 248-year cycle. And that was a major thing. And and that's still going on. So when it goes into Aquarius, which is it's coming up, and then Saturn's going to go into Pisces. Saturn is in Aquarius now, so the two of them actually met, which is very interesting in Aquarius of all places. But then they're going to Saturn's going to go into Pisces, which is I think in March. That's going to be another really big change. I think March, April. I mean, this whole thing that we're seeing right now, these are going to be the good old days. This is all, not only is the rug being pulled out from the powers that be, the rug's being pulled out from all of us. There's this very big change happening. I think you've probably been told about that too. I'm sure you know that that big 25,000 year cycle. I'm not sure if that's just another deception or not, but probably
sure
these big cycles change.
Yeah, I have questions about cycles that that they say that are that long. You know, not so sure about those.
Well, the thing about it is they're long in terms of how long we live, but in terms of a planetary cycle, a cosmic cycle, they're brief. So that's why they change us so much, because they have such a wide-ranging effect on the planet itself. So, and to me, the planet has just been polluted. It's not so much that we've warmed it; we've polluted it.
It's always being polluted. The corporations pollute it. They don't recycle. They tell us, they make us all recycle that plastic, and then nobody recycles it. We go put the plastic in the recycle bins, and nobody recycles it.
But the whole, yeah, exactly. And then the whole concept of recycle, or the whole concept of the way we put all this together. You've got, bottom line is, you have people that are willing to pee in the very river that they take their water out of to make a few bucks. So it comes back to real basic, human greed, human stupidity, a lack, just a very immature consciousness, which is changing. That's what's going to change. The consciousness has got to come up. And as the consciousness changes, there's just so much resistance to it. The resistance to it is outrageous. And like the whole concept of putting something in your body, like putting it into the skin, that concept is, to me, when I was a kid, even that's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard of. How was that able to get so far? The idea that you're going to put something in, literally, into your bloodstream, which is a very dangerous thing to do, thinking that somewhere inside your body, the body's going to figure out how to be immune to it. That whole concept, to me, it's not just a particular vaccination, or then people say it saved lives. I think that's BS. It happened to be at the same time we've cleaned up our act. We're drinking better water. It's less polluted. All of that. If we just did basic stuff, everything would be fine. But that's just, we're not allowed to do that. And the other thing is, if you want to be peace and kind of be on your own, you're not allowed that. In other words, if you go against whatever the agenda is, you got to be poked and prodded.
Right.
You can't be left alone, because that's not part of the whole thing. The part of the whole thing is you're either with us or you're not type thing. That mentality. So all that's going to be changing. So we'll see what happens. I think that for any particular person, all you really can do ultimately is forgive it all. Drop it. Just drop your emotional reaction to it, because that's what it's trying to get you to do, and that's feeding it. That's the loosh. According to Robert Monroe, when the creators of the world, they realized as they were making these worlds that they were feeding off the loosh that they were making, and they realized that they got a real strong loosh result And they looked down and they realized that they got that real strong result by harming the particular creatures there. In other words, they put out all this extra loosh when they were emotionally upset, angry, or having a hard time. So they figured, well, the best way to market the loosh is to put down entities that are always in distress.
I don't know what you're talking about, but we need to slow down now. We're getting way off track. I don't know about all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
But thank you for calling.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay. You take care.
All right, thanks. Bye. Yeah, I don't know what all that is. That was going to a very weird place. I'm sorry. I don't want to go there. I just don't. But thank you for calling. Yeah, my backup channel is Unveiling This Realm. See, I don't believe this is a simulation. I am not on board with simulation. Mainstream physicists push simulation theory, so that to me alone puts it under being the highly suspicious category. Because when you get people like Brian Cox and you know, I forget these other names. I remember watching a whole thing where there's a whole bunch of dudes and they were all going on and on about how it's a simulation. I just don't think so. You know, I think, for me, I still think that humans use simulation as a word to describe this place because in our minds, we don't have another way to comprehend how this place works or what the driving force is behind it. We are just but puny humans. I mean, not puny humans, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when we try to, everything that we do is mimicking the creation, is mimicking nature. So when we recreate it, we use it, we are simulating nature. We simulate nature. Nature is not a simulation. This is a creation. And then we simulate it. And then I think then we get stuck in that sort of, I don't know how to describe that mindset. Is it a paradox? I don't know. But it's like where you think it's a simulation because you, as you understand it, that's how you would make it. But you're not the creator, so how would you know? You're just a co-creator. You're using what's already here to create your reality. But do you know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Ooh, it's 11:11. It's 11:11. Yeah, man. It's 11:11. Spirits listening. 11:11. New resonate. Beginning. Reflect. Visualize. Opportunity. 11:11. Spirit listens, knows more than we do. Visions manifest. In mind, manifest your reality. Yeah, buddy. Abundance. Anyway, back. We're back. And we're back. Wouldn't the creator exist in base reality? I believe in simulation. Well, now it says 11:12. There's a little bit of a drag. But did you see it? Did you see it? That's what counts. That's what counts. All right. Simulation is the only way they can clinicize it. It's the way non-spiritual folks describe the experience of existing in a body. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Of course, I could be wrong. We could all be wrong. Who knows? I just don't think so. I don't think it needs to be a simulation. I think probably while we are physically here in this world, I don't know that we'll ever fully understand or even come close to understanding what this place is and how it really works. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like the mystery of all ages. But I'm just not a simulation type of gal. You know? Where do you think your soul goes? To base reality? I don't know. I don't know. It could be, let me see if I can find this. I probably have these on my computer somewhere, but let me just look right now. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to look at some Walter Russell stuff. Okay, so this sort of thing right here, this is his chart of, what do you call it? Different elements. A Russell periodic chart of elements number 1. Okay? Stars indicate elements discovered by Walter Russell. And there's a lot of stars here. Or no, is there not? No, maybe it's 1. Tomion? Plutonium. Anyway, look at how this chart is made. It's a wave. It's like a scale. Almost like, and then it's broken into octaves. So there's first octave, second octave, third octave, fourth octave, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and 9. So there's 9 octaves, which is interesting when you think about Tesla and vortex math and 369 and 9 being the number of completion and da. But he's got them broken up into octaves, which is like isn't that like a, it's a resonance. Octaves are usually associated with music and sound. The way this place works is like it's a huge mystery, right? So when whatever vibration or density this realm is physically or energetically, how this place is contained for a soul, which is basically an energy, right? It's like an energy, it's a frequency, it's a vibration, you're a waveform, ultimately your soul, right? So whatever this place is, it somehow is able to allow a light being to exist in sort of inside of a physical body and animate it and experience life through it, and you know what I'm saying, and use that body to have these experiences and to learn these lessons or whatever it is we're doing here. And then when your energy leaves that physical body, and the physical body then stops resonating to the vibration of your energy, your spirit, right? Then it stops and it decomposes back into the realm. It recycles back into the realm. So where does your energy go? I don't know. It could go to a different realm. It could go to a different density, a different layer, a different, I don't know. Maybe maybe there's something to some of these where they have the multiple layers inside. A lot of people seem to think that there's multiple layers. Okay, so like this is sort of like a little thing, I guess. It's hard to find it on here without looking for it right away. But like how they have like the physical plane down here, and then there's other planes of existence. I mean, it could just be a new plane of existence, you know? And then how many of those are there? I don't know. I mean, this is all speculation, you know, but it does seem to, on some level, resonate to me that when you're done here, you go on to the next level, the next octave, the next density, the next plane. You know, maybe there are new lessons to learn once you learn everything here. You know, it's like when you go through your classes or whatever, you know, you learn everything you can learn here, and then once you learn everything here, you can move on to the next level. You can go to the higher, to the more intense, I don't know. Maybe it's less intense. Who knows? But it just seems like, you know, it could be. I just don't feel like this is it, but that's just my opinion. Where does your soul go? I don't know. Oh, I accidentally closed my tab. My Rockfin tab, damn it. Do we have a caller? Okay, hold on one sec. I just need to get back to my Rockfin chat so I can see what's going on here. I don't grasp simulation theory, but the Earth experience reminds me of playing a very long game of Myst. I remember Myst. That's so old school. Yeah, okay. I wanted to just go make sure I could see my chat. We are creators within a creation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're co-creators. Creators within a creation. No, there are not level ups. There are not level ups? Well, how do you know? Beyond this physical world that there aren't level ups. I mean, it's possible. You can't rule it out. You know? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, good morning, Karen. It's JM.
Hey, good. Hi, JM. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous in this wonderful place we call the Earth Realm.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Did you get to have fun with family and friends and all that good stuff over the Thanksgiving time?
I did. Musicians
well, that is
for
a good
Truth.
thing.
I'm sorry, JM. Excuse me. Musicians for Truth. You're kidding me with Archaics, right? Are you fucking kidding me with that dude? You know that he's a rapist and he spent most of his adult life in prison. He raped and kidnapped a girl. He's a rapist and a kidnapper, and then he spent all of his life in prison, and but from his own words, he would poke holes in people who got in his way. I'm sorry, but that motherfucker does not know what reality is, and it really makes me sick when people reference him and talk about how brilliant he is. He sat in prison, and his warped mind manipulated all this information and made up a fantasy story and telling everybody that the world's going to end in 2040. I mean, he's left himself a window of 18 years to fuck everybody's life over. Just the way his life was fucked over, I guess, right? I mean, you guys have got to be fucking kidding me with that dude. Seriously. Seriously. I mean, I only had to listen to him talk for less than this time, but I listened to more time than I felt like I needed to, so I could get the whole story and I could make a more informed decision. But oh my God. I mean, I can't even believe that anybody thinks that guy is... I mean, he talks about a solar system. He tells you that red dust came from the outer planets in the solar system and dusted this place with red dirt, dusted the Earth with red dirt. Oh, but it's a simulation. None of it makes any sense. He contradicts himself all the time. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. But, I mean, he makes me sick. I don't understand why anybody like, can take any of that seriously. How do you take that seriously? He just takes stuff from everywhere and makes he's like conflation. There is massive conflation going on with that dude and his work, his storytelling. These people don't do any stories. They just fucking make up. They're not doing work. They're making up stories, and they're trying to create cults. And the way people come out with that dude, and they're like, "Oh, archaic's this, archaic's that, blah blah blah." Please. Sorry, JM. I'm just so tired of people bringing that.
Not a problem.
But people keep bringing him up, right? And then nobody said, but we need to talk about these things. I mean, really, if you guys want to talk about what that guy talks about, I mean, it is the biggest pile of nonsense, and people are like, "Oh, cheers to you, blah, blah, blah." And I mean, it makes me want to vomit. And yes, I did go do my research and read his court records and shit. I mean, I could never in my right mind in a million years ever align myself with somebody like that. I'm sorry, I just can't. Never in a million fucking years. Sorry, JM, go ahead.
Well, not a problem. It seems that a lot of the people that we call quote-unquote intelligent also seem to be some of the craziest people in this place, and a lot of those crazy quote-unquote intelligent people are in positions of power and influence a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's elected officials, leaders, I mean, that seems to run true a lot in this place, if we look at it.
Yeah.
This Earth realm is run by madmen, if you really want to look at it. And it's been that way since it seems to be the beginning of time.
Yeah. And, and I understand, people are so lost right now. Everything about this world is so fucked up beyond all recognition, and people are desperate, people are lost, people are looking for answers. And it just hurts me to see people looking to people like that for answers. I just don't see anything good coming from that. From something that comes, I just don't. And, and the stuff that this guy talks about, I mean, it is, I don't even want to get into it anymore. I just don't, it's just so draining. It's just, there's so much bullshit rampant all over the place. And I just keep seeing people. It's like, people are not looking for truth anymore. You guys are like junkies looking for a fix. All you guys want is the next big thing, the next big story, the next coolest discovery. And here's the thing. Truth is not always exciting. It's not always mind-blowing. Sometimes it's fucking boring. Most of the time it's boring. Most of the time it's not that exciting. And most of this time, it's weeding through lies and deceit is what we're doing here. But just to look for that one little bit of truth. And I just feel like everybody's looking for something, keeps looking on the outside. Nobody wants to go in and search within. Seriously, the answer is within. And maybe that sounds new agey. Maybe it sounds cheesy. But to go looking to these new creators, this guy with the newest and most new discovered information, the newest theory, there is nothing new under the sun, and you don't need to go find somebody's new theory. There doesn't need to be some, mystery civilization. It doesn't have to be none of this bullshit that everybody is getting all excited about is even fucking necessary. And it makes me just want to pack everything up and just close up shop and just go do something else, to be honest with you.
Well, don't pack up, Karen. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. And this, somebody like that, I mean, you see their channels growing and everybody pushing their stuff like it's the new cult. And nobody's asking, I feel like nobody's giving this any sort of real examination. Nobody's putting things through the scrutiny that we put the globe through. Nobody does that anymore. It's like nobody wants to do that. Everybody, just because somebody shits all over what you consider mainstream doesn't mean that their idea is like the right way. You know, I mean, I guess everybody has to make their own decision. I don't even really know what I'm saying anymore. But I just feel like there's just so much incredible bullshit flying around, you know, and nobody wants to take the time to do the inner work. Nobody. And I'm talking about people who are quote unquote in the truth community too. You know, everybody just wants to have the coolest fantasy story. I mean, everything's gotten so fucking weird. What is happening?
Life is a lot simpler than I think a lot of us allow it to be, and we've caught up. We've been disconnected from source, in my opinion, the creator, the Father, God, whatever people want to call him. We've been disconnected from that, but we've also become disconnected from this place called Earth. If we look at it, we have an intricate connection with this Earth through the vessels we're in. Our bodies are made of this place. We're not grounded anymore to this place. We've disconnected from it. We eat toxic poisons. The food that they give us, the process, the chemicals, the genetically altered shit has removed us from that. The water that most people drink is full of fluoride and other chemicals and disgusting things, which clog up the things in our brain that allow us to have connection with that. And I think that's another problem that we've had. And then you got to remember, from the time we were born, we were put in front of screens. Even us older people, our parents in the 70s and 80s, there's a screen. Ooh, the favorite shows. Nowadays, go in the grocery store. Look at these small children. It disgusts me when I see a small child having a temper tantrum in their shopping cart, and the parent, the mother, instead of disciplining the child and going, hey, look, Junior, we ain't pulling this bullshit here. Sit down and shut up until we're done. And then, do you see where I'm coming with that? But instead, they give that child the screen because that's what that child wants. And I look at that and go, what is that child going to be like when it grows up or becomes a teenager? That screen is everything to that child. That false reality, that the lies. I mean, we've really gotten away from what we should be doing. And like you said, working on ourselves, working on our inner selves. I'm grateful for discovering this and finding groups of people like we have here. Because, I mean, say what people want to say. Flat Earth is a huge, in my opinion, it's the foundation of breaking through the lies of this place. Do we know exactly what this Earth realm is? No, we don't. But we know what we've been told is completely lies. Just full of lies and nonsense, designed to take us away. I truly believe they are trying to create a false reality for us and enslave us even greater than we already are. The studying of the scripture that I've been reading, the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, it's really tales of people who were enslaved and what to do to break free, to get out of the enslavement, if you really break it down to the simplicity of the book or the books.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the tales were about enslaved people. Everybody wants to throw in the religious and all this other bullshit. Well, wait a minute. There's truth-based in this stuff. There's lots of truth-based in this stuff. What's the worst-case scenario at the end of the day? You spend your life trying to find out more about what and who you are, and you're doing things that benefit this place, benefit this earth, benefit people around you, and you die and there's nothing. What are you going to be mad about? You got to know yourself, you got to understand yourself, and so what? It's gone. Or instead, you lived here in lies and you're a piece of shit and treat other people like shit. And well, there's no difference. Well, wait a minute. What life is that? We've only got a small window of time here. Not because we weren't created to live here a long time. It's they've poisoned our bodies. They've lied to us about everything about what it takes to keep our bodies in good shape. And connecting with things. And like I said, I'm very grateful for communities like this and seeing people like the who's that mountain guy? Why did I forget his name? The one he talks about Odin and everything, and he lives in the mountains with his wife.
Oh, Ben. He's in the chat.
Ben, yes. Yeah. The Alchemist, yeah. Hearing some of the stuff he's talking about, I'm like, wow, that stuff makes a lot of sense. And digging more into it and getting connected back with the nature and getting connected with those things. Not to be the quote-unquote hippie tree hugger, but just understanding more of what and who we are.
Yep.
But, once again, they want to create lies. And the stuff going on now, it ain't nothing new they're doing. They've done the same shit before. The Tower of Babel, they're creating it now. Doing it all over again with their frequencies, their radio waves they're producing. Is there shit they're throwing up in the air? I don't know. Possibly. But the more you keep looking at it, everything they're doing is to enslave us. They're shutting off the energy. This place called Earth runs on energy. Without energy, we got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're shutting all that down. And it's not just here in America. It's in all the countries around the world. Almost like it's a concerted effort.
Yeah.
And it goes back. Get the people so uncomfortable, so miserable, that they beg their masters to enslave them so they can have a little bit of security.
Yep.
And look at the nonsense going on here in the States. Look at the nonsense going on in China. It's like, look what they're doing to those people over there. Locking them down in their work over the cold and flu.
Yeah.
The people are starting to revolt there now, but all you got to do is turn on your good, trusty news sources, and they'll tell you, oh, those people are just being too extreme. Are you kidding me? How much longer till we got the tanks driving these people over? Oh, that's right. That changed. He was sitting on the tank with flowers. If there's reality now, right?
Yeah.
With everything going on, I mean, we're possibly going to see where they just start mowing people down again in China.
I don't know.
I mean,
China.
take a look at what's going on. I mean, you start taking a look at what's going on here. Do you realize the business occupancy rate in New York City is well below 50% right now?
Is it?
Yes. It was down in the 30% last year. How can we sustain this? We can't.
No.
California, it's even worse. Places like San Francisco. But that's stuff that they keep. They don't keep it hidden, but they sure don't put it out in front of us, and people don't notice it and what's going on. I mean, it's the more I see what's going on, it's like, holy crap. If we don't start getting something in line, it's going to be ugly here real quick.
Yep.
And it goes back to instead, but we got there's crazy people run around and chase, but that's what the system wants. Get you running around chasing the rabbit holes, chasing all that stuff, running around in circles, chasing your own goddamn tail until they put the handcuffs on you or just put the bullet through your head. One of the two.
Yeah.
But I just called to throw in my 2 cents, and as always, you guys are greatly appreciated for the work you do.
Thanks, JM. Thanks for calling.
Even though you're a crazy flat earth witch.
Yeah. Yep.
It's done in humor, Karen. It's not done in meanness.
I know. It's okay. I've already accepted the witch, whatever. I don't really care if people call me a witch anymore. Whatever. I am a witch. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
And then your evil cohort Mark, in which I know, and I've got his secret out. He's all doing this to secretly grabble up all the pinball machines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
His secret's no longer safe, Karen.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, JM.
Thanks, Karen. We appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm sorry I went off about that, but you guys, dude, there's just so much wackadoodle stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are just completely disregarding everything. It's like, everything is a lie. Like, I'm guilty of saying everything is a lie too, but the reality is that not everything is a lie. The truth has been intricately woven amongst a very thick fabric of lies, but there is truth in stuff. We just have to figure it out. That's what makes it so difficult, is because all the lies and the truths are they're literally like this. They're interwoven. Everything is interwoven on purpose. A fine, a very intricate tapestry of lies has been being woven for hundreds and hundreds of years. And so it's very difficult for us to sort of figure out what's real and what's not. But I feel like too many people have completely dismissed everything. I mean, everything. Everything. Don't dismiss everything, because there is still rules. There are still rules that this physical world has to adhere to, and there are still things that can and cannot happen. Now, there's things that can happen that we aren't aware of, that we were lied to. I'm not going to say that there aren't things that we weren't lied to about, but there are still rules to this world. There has to be. Otherwise it would be complete chaos. But there are still rules to this physical world. There is an up and there is a down, right? There is a downward bias to the ground. Up is up, down is down. That is a real thing. We can't dismiss everything. We have to put our ideas through the filter of reality. Go out into the world and test them. Don't just stay in your room on your computer looking at pictures and say, this looks like that, looks like this, looks like that, look like this happened, so I'm guessing this happened. It's not that simple. Go out, with that idea. Put it out into the ether, one step at a time. Process it, live in it, roll around in it, explore it, think about it. We really, really have to scrutinize things on a case-by-case level, and we can't just be accepting these fucking well-presented stories, because that's what they are. These people they are building a story. They're building their own ethos or whatever, and everybody's looking for answers in a world full of truth mixed with lies. And it's so, to me, it's a mess. It's a mess is what it looks like to me. Why would you go outside? If everyone would be honest, would lies still remain? That's a good question. No, lies are always going to be there. I agree, the sacred geometry runs through the physical realm as a signature of the creator. And all those sacred geometry follows the golden rule. It all has the golden ratio inside of it. But that doesn't make it a simulation. Shit. I was telling them if we should have had everybody take pictures with that hat on and all changed our whatchamacallit, our profile pictures at the same time. Trust your perceptions. Remember the episode at the Heavenly Peace place when the single guy stopped 5 tanks? I don't remember that. What are you talking about? What days do you do this show? It's every Moonday. On Mondays I do it. I thought about doing it more days a week, but it's difficult, man. It's difficult to add more stuff to my schedule. And to be honest, sometimes, man, I get really just, I mean, you know, and I don't want to harp on stuff, but it's like, you guys, please just stop it. Stop. The current definition of simulation is based in computers and not an accurate representation of our existence. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, there's things that can happen here that can't happen in a computer. And even computers can't accurately always predict what's going to happen. You know how they always go, well, we have our computer simulated model to predict blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not always right. You know? You can't always predict what's going to happen. There is a natural entropy that is in nature and in this creation, and it is there because of the golden ratio, because of the 1.618 ratio, which is an approximation. That ratio is responsible for the natural entropy that does occur in this realm, and from that natural entropy, you know, random things happen and new order takes place. But it seems by chance, but it's not. Anyway. It's okay. Sacred geometry, Satanism? Rogue River, are you out of your mind? Sacred geometry equals Satanism? No. Just no. So sacred geometry, the geometry that reveals itself in almost every natural occurring thing in this realm that we live on is about Satanism. You see, you guys, I give up. I give up. Because they co-opt that stuff. Because they take things that are of the creation and try to co-opt it. It's just like the evil people who are trying to replace themselves as creator, or trying to replace God. I don't even like that word God, but they're trying to replace God, or make you think that there isn't one. There is no most high, right? There is no creator. There is no source creator, right? They co-opt that stuff. They take that information, they've taken that information and hidden it, occulted it, and use it for their own purposes and hide it from the rest of the masses so that they have no understanding of where they live. They have no understanding about the beautiful, intricate creation that was made for people, humans, to live on. That's why it's occulted. It's not because it's satanic. It's because they don't want people to know the true creator. Oh my God. What the hell is going on in this place anymore? Optimism smile gone. Yeah. I mean, you guys, there. I mean, if you can go into the ground and find a crystal that grows in the ground naturally, without any sort of help or manipulation, that looks like this, right? These are all natural things. They grow in the ground, just like this. They're sacred geometric shapes. You know what I'm saying? These are natural things that happen on their own. And you're going to tell me that that's Satan? How could something so pretty and so beautiful that you just find randomly in the ground, how could that be about Satan? How? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Look at these beautiful growing right out of the ground, just this way, naturally made this way. These crystals. And you think they're from Satan. Wow. Do you see how deceived people, I mean, what is happening? I feel like I'm in like the biggest mind F movie ever written. Satan eggs. So you're worshiping creation. Why do you say that? Shapes are not sacred? Oh my God. Crystals do heal you. Crystals do heal you. You know, this is what I'm saying. Listen, if you think crystals are satanic, if you think that it's wrong to think that these things are good or try to use them for good purposes the way that I believe that they were intended, well, then you could just go somewhere else. I just don't have time for this crap. I don't have time for you people. Everybody, this is good, this is bad, this is Satan, be scary. Just, would you all just go somewhere with that? I mean, okay, I'll try to stop. You know what? Let's see, what is it, 11:52? All right, listen, I'm gonna go. I need more coffee. All right, I'm back. I have more coffee. Why is my camera so low? What do you guys... Let me ask you guys this. Which spirit is crystal meth carrying? Huh. If crystals heal you, why are people getting sick and dying, not living forever? Well, first of all, not everybody uses crystals in the way that, in that manner. And second of all, everything about our environment is being poisoned. You know, the air, the water, the food, all of this stuff. And you cannot protect yourself through one modality alone, right? Because we're being constantly bombarded through multiple ways from like all directions, right? Physically, spiritually, mentally, we're under attack constantly. And you can't just use one modality to keep yourself protected or to heal yourself from the multiple modalities being used against you. Does that make sense? You better have some festive creamer in that coffee. Yeah, crystals aren't the end all be all. Like I would never say this is the only way. And also, different people respond to different healing modalities, right? Like one thing that works for somebody else may not work for another person. Okay, so you have to. This is where this is where it's important to really do some introspection and to pay attention to your body, to pay attention to your environment, what it is you're putting into your body, what your habits are, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, you really gotta figure it out. Only you can figure this stuff out. Only you are with yourself 100% of the time, and only you know what you're putting in your body. Only you know how you feel. You know? So there's different things you have to do. Our biggest mistake, in my opinion, focusing on energy to live longer as opposed to understanding the meaning of why we are here. Right. I agree, Cammie. Why are we here? What is, you know, why are we here, and how does this place really work? And how do we work within this place? You know, what have they hidden from us as far as our abilities here, how we function in here, how we communicate to each other, our, you know, how that sort of stuff influences others, ourselves, our thoughts, our actions influence ourselves physically, others physically, but you don't know. Nobody tells you all that stuff. And Gainer. The only thing that works for me is to have a gorgeous guy put his hands all over my body. So, what do you think? What was I going to ask you? I was going to ask a question. What do you guys think people should be looking at? What is the most important truth for people to be looking at outside of Flat Earth right now? What is the most important thing for people to know? Like if you had to tell someone minus flat, the Earth is flat, okay? What is the most important thing for them to understand right now about the world we live in? And be specific. Don't say everything's a lie. Specifically, what do people need to know right now to improve their life? Doing the inner work on oneself. How to make each day count the most. Natural healing and astrology. The connection to nature. Respecting the rules and regulations of the world we live in. Inhuman ways. Really? I'm not sure if I understand that comment. You are the center of the universe. Be gentle with yourself. Breathe. That our actions have consequences, sometimes unintended. There are no pathogens. To be or not to be. Our fake history. Enlightenment. The reason we are here is to realize self-love. Satan is the temptation to knowledge. Say, tangential sight along the curving earth is causing the horizon. What? The reason we are here is to realize self-love, do things for others. Personal health, know Jesus, fight for our future freedom. That COVID is a HOAX. I agree. I think one of the most important things for people to be looking at right now is do the things that they are pushing everybody to be afraid of really exist? Does the boogeyman, let's just put it that way, does the current boogeyman really exist? That's what people need to be wondering about. Does the boogeyman that they're being told to be afraid of really exist? Don't believe in the boogeyman. Don't believe in the boogeyman. Practice positive thoughts. Fundamentals of survival off the land. Ground up rebuilding of society. Exactly the same as World War III would have been a nuclear winter. I think that's a good idea. Getting back to nature, living off the land, knowing your rights. Knowing your rights. Knowing, this is one thing that really a lot of us should have been taught in school, is how the quote unquote legal system works. You guys, I really would like to see you, more people learn about that. I myself am taking a class. It's called How to Win in Court, and it should make it so that you you never need a lawyer again, and nobody can ever screw you over ever again. That's one thing I think we should be learning. So if anybody wants to take that course and become armed with the knowledge to never be screwed over again by the legal system, that's one thing, which I think also goes hand in hand with investigating the existence of the boogeyman, the spiky-headed boogeyman, right? Does the spiky-headed boogeyman actually exist? Do any of these spiky-headed boogeymen actually exist? Brits in particular should watch Straw Man, Nature of the Cage, but some of it is also applicable to the US. Yeah. Yeah. All the scary stuff is a lie. Exactly, Thomas Larson, right there. All the scary stuff is a lie. Nukes, AIDS, asteroids, alien invasion, acid rain, quicksand. Yeah. And then once you get past that, though, then you got to realize, like, how do you build up a society or a network of people, a community, without having to change where you live or relocate completely? Because I think that's another thing we need to understand. We need to know that we don't have to play by their rules. Okay? We can operate in the private right alongside the public. Okay? And we can start taking control of our own sort of infrastructure. We can start building our own infrastructure, a network of people who understand how things are supposed to be. Like homeschooling groups and stuff would be really great. Alternative healing people like Grounded Extracts, who make these herbal medicines and tinctures to help people get off of big pharma medicine. Stuff like this. This is what we're going to have to start focusing on. It's like, once we understand, we really need to start understanding the tools that we have at our grasp right now to start changing our reality as it works now. Because I think we can start working on that now. And I think that it's important to start looking at this stuff. It's not fun. This is where truth gets boring. Okay? Learning all this stuff is boring. But once you get through it and you figure out that there's a different way to do things that we have at our fingertips right now to use, this is what I think we should be focusing on. This is what I think we should be doing. This is why I like to do events where I get people, dedicated people, all in the same area, face to face with each other, and conversations can get started. Friendships can be made, bonds are made, because that's what you're going to need. That base is going to be needed for the future when we start constructing our own, private society, so that we can do things the way that we believe that they should be done, that are more in line with nature and with natural law, and allow us more freedom. This is the type of stuff that I really want to get into, and it's not exciting. There's no fantasy stories. There's no giants. There's no X Factor event. There's no mud flood. And I'm sorry that that's not very, if that's what you're most into listening to and stuff. But the important stuff, the foundations that need to be built from people like us, if we want to salvage any sort of, any sort of normalcy for our children, our future. You know what I'm saying? We have to start doing the groundwork. Anyway, that's what I think. Flat networking, yes. Know your self-worth. Exactly. Oh yeah, Tommy. For sure. Infinity Group or something similar. You can buy coins to pay local people to work in the community in 3-hour blocks. Oh! You're talking about, like, Michael Tellinger has that thing where he's got one small town started, and with their one small towns where they are trying to set up these independent cities they're like little communities that run based on everybody volunteering and working on it together. And he's got a crypto thing that he started that's going to be attached to that too. And I saw that, and I would like to look into that more too, because I think cryptocurrency is actually one of the things that we have in our tool belt right now, but most people have a huge aversion to crypto. I used to be one of those people. For a long time I was very against crypto and I wanted nothing to do with it until I learned how it actually works and I became educated on it, and then I did invest some money in crypto, and I saw the potential. Right now, I know talking about crypto to people is they're just like, oh, look at everything's in the market. Everything's in the shitter. Yeah, the market is down. Everything's down right now, way down. But this is the opportunity, the counterintuitive opportunity to invest money into crypto and to, multiply your holdings many, many times over, possibly in the next bull market. And I'm not going to get into it, and I don't want to argue. If you don't like crypto, you're out on crypto, that's fine. Go ahead and be out on crypto. But you can use my code Karen10 to get 10% off any crypto consultations if you want to learn how crypto works and you want to learn how to start investing right now during the bear market when everything is in the shitter. Is the best time to onboard. It's the best time right now. Not financial advice, but I'm just saying that's one of the tools we have in our pocket because it's decentralized. You're in control of your finances. Your finances are no longer at the mercy of a bank, of a central bank. And it's different than digital currencies. Okay. Then central bank digital currency is different than cryptocurrency. Very different. And it's important now to learn the difference between these things, because this is the sort of stuff that's coming down the pipeline, and you need to learn up on it now because you don't want to be blindsided by it later. But I do believe that we do have the tools necessary and within our reach right now, if we learn about them and we learn how to use them, to set ourselves up to be protected from the overreaching arms of the ever-growing governmental monster. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of people think you know what? There 100% are lots of scams in crypto. Do your own research. Not your keys, not your coins. That's what I'm saying. Go get a consultation. Like Jaren and those other people that do crypto consultations are flat earthers, okay? They want people to succeed. They want you to know how it works. It is a good idea to learn. Not necessary. If you don't want to do it, if you hate it, you're out on it, okay. That's cool. But I'm telling you, if you feel so inclined, now is the best time to learn about it and to get that to get that in your tool belt, so to speak. Yeah, you can get scammed with cash too, exactly. Knowing we are eternal beings is the most important. Yeah. Anyone try to buy crypto with your secret social security account? That's funny. Jaren is the man when it comes to crypto. I still need to wrap my simpleton's brain around it all. But yeah, you can, yeah. I don't even know. You can't do that. Hey, Troubling Tribune, make a video. I can't believe it. I've never heard of anybody even being able to access that bogus account. Aw, snap. I lost... Am I... Learn to cook. Just saw this from James Hetfield about their new album. Interesting as it is similar to your subject today. The title refers to the first 18 years of our lives that form our true or false selves. The concept that we were told who we are by our parents, a possible pigeonholing around what kind of personality we are. I think the most interesting part of this is the continued study of those core beliefs. Huh. Yeah, Ubuntu. That's right. For Michael Tellinger's One Small Town. Contract is the highest form of law. Fight for our rights and take them back. That's right, Bex. People's exactly. Exactly, y'all. Yes. I'm selling Realm Coin. Get on board early while it's low. Like Karen said, $1 a coin. What is Realm Coin? Yeah. All right. Anyway, y'all. Trying to end it on a good note. Yeah, and gold is probably a good investment too, but I'm telling you guys, just go down the crypto rabbit hole. Just examine it. You don't have to put any money in it to examine it and to look into it. Okay? You don't. You don't have to put money in it to learn about it. But I'm telling you, it's a worthwhile rabbit hole. The only thing better than a flat earther is a financially free flat earther. Now, I'm not saying I am, but I could see the potential with crypto, okay? And it is volatile, and everything could go to zero, you know? So don't be foolish with stuff. But, you know, imagine what you could do if you were financially free and you just had time to go around and just share truth. Imagine how many people you could wake up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I think about. I'm like, man, what if we could get our own venue? And then every year when I do events, I don't have to worry about where the venue's going to be. I would always have one. And we could use it for multiple events throughout the year whenever we wanted. I mean, think about it. We need to start building, our own infrastructure for, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like you guys get it, right? We have to start, nobody's going to give it to us. You know, we can't go use mainstream stuff because they don't want us there. Do you understand? Like, you guys have no idea sometimes how difficult, when I go around and I look at these venues, that's why I keep going back to the Shrine Club, because they love us. Other people, you go to a venue, like any venue in some random town, USA, and you tell them you want to have a flat earth conference there. Most people want nothing to do with it. So it would be awesome. You know, these are the dreams I have. Like, we need to build our own flat empire. That's the word I'm looking for. We need to have our own flat empire, our own flat nation, our own stuff, you know, where we can be okay, where we can operate and live day-to-day lives and support each other. And you know what I'm saying? Without having to deal with the nonsense of the rest of brainwashed society, or at least only having to deal with it on a very, very minimal level. Very, very minimal level. It's already in the works. It has been, exactly. Like, kind of Owen Benjamin and what he's doing with the Bertaria crew. Like, they have a place in the Ozarks now where they're starting to build stuff, right? You know, so that we can have our own stuff going on and we don't ever have to be subjected to the draconian mandates of the government or whatever. Flat nation, flat bowling lanes, right? Flat pirate gang. Can't spell. What? Brick by brick, we should build ourselves up. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. All we need, look at, is that all we need is the sun to keep coming back around, Karen B. The rest is just gravy. Life is good. Yeah. Life is good. And life can be better. We can make it better, you guys. We could make it amazing. Well, Eric, see, I used to think that too. It'd be better to invest in something tangible that you can touch rather than cryptocurrency. Ultimately, I agree. But here's what somebody said to me one time that made me start looking into cryptocurrency, because it was a flat earther. They said, I went down the rabbit hole of flat earth, and then when I got bored, I went down the rabbit hole of cryptocurrency, and now I'm a financially free flat earther. Okay? And this person then told me, you know, and I said that, well, I would rather invest my money in something like this for, you know, for becoming self-sufficient, for being independent, right? And that this person said, yes, you can use your crypto gains to fund self-reliance, and much quicker, possibly much quicker than if you did it a traditional way. That's not the same for everybody, but I've seen a lot of people doing it. I've seen it happen, you know. You just have to go and look into these groups and check out what's going on in these circles that you never even know about or even thought existed. You just have to look and peer into these other places. What's going on? What are people doing? What's working? What can we do? What can we use? You know? So yeah. Use your gains to buy self-reliance. This is what I'm saying. But, you know, it might not be right for everybody. Everybody, you know, you do whatever you think is good. But I'm just telling you, bear market right now, everything is super, 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 super low. Bitcoin is lower than it was whenever I first got into it, and that was a couple of years ago. So it's really, really low. And the markets are cyclical. They always go back up again. We've seen it happen. Just go look at the charts. They go down, but they go back up. So I would just like to see our people become more independent, less reliant on the system, less beholden to debtors. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you guys to live free. I want all of us to live free. And sometimes, you know, we have to explore non-traditional ways to maybe make that happen. Yeah. Also, what would be good to do is learn some skills. Learn a skill. We all should be learning a skill. Learn to do something with your hands. What do you guys think? Do you see our government now has it now that deposits over $600 will be reported to the government? Yeah. Yes. $600. Boy, what a big baller. The government just has to know about your 600 measly fucking dollars. I mean, how ridiculous is that? That's another thing, you guys. When I feel more comfortable about talking about it publicly, I will, but we all need to learn about trusts and setting up trusts for yourself for your assets. Put your house under a trust. Could put your savings under a trust if you're still using fiat bank, an ecclesiastical irrevocable trust. These things cannot be touched by the government, and they're legally tax-free. You can build a house? That's great. Got rid of your bank account? Oh, I have a caller. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, what's up, Karen? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Yeah, I just, I've been listening to your show there. Just wanted to mention one thing. Not to be a Debbie Downer or anything like that. I mean, I'm all for being, society being more government independent and free and stuff like that. But I thought about crypto. I was into it when it first came out, and kind of leaned myself off of it with the ups and downs. I guess I got scared and whatnot. But the one thing that I just wanted to get your thoughts on or opinion is let's say, for example, once everybody gets on board, right, like society or the whole world gets on with some form of crypto or another, I see that the powers that should not be would then demonize it in some way where they're saying that it's terrorists are using it and stuff like that to fund these weapons of whatever bullshit they peddle at that time. And then ultimately they would regulate it in a way that they would control your access to your crypto, because after all, I believe the World Wide Web is controlled, I think, by the military, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's the problem with a lot of people that have doubts about it. I think that's kind of their concern. It's if you depend on it too much, or you put all your assets into it, and then they start to manipulate your access to it,
but that's not
if
how
you don't
the
comply
blockchain
to their
works.
mandates and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you have to have this or that.
In
order to have this ID.
But the thing is, the government can't limit your access to your own crypto if you have the keys to the wallet. If you're the holder of the key phrase, they can't limit your act. They can't do anything about it. The only thing that they would be able to control a digital currency, like if they turned a central bank digital currency, that was tied to the dollar or whatever, that they could control, but they can't control crypto. And that's the difference.
Right. I mean, I get that. I understand how crypto works and stuff, but what I'm saying is entirely different. You know how they want everybody to have this type of ID, some new ID. Like, I got a letter. I live in Illinois, and I got a letter talking about the real ID or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I have to have so many types of verified, identifiable documents in order to get that real ID thing.
Yeah.
And I just think that what they'll do is you have to have, in order for you to get that ID, it's like you got to go through all these hoops, is what I'm saying. And then ultimately, I think everything's going to end up being online, where your food and services, everything, the way I see it, it's like all these mom and pop stores, they're little by little, they're phasing them all out. And in the future, I think all you're going to have is like these big conglomerates, your Amazons and big giant outlet stores like that. And I think a lot of them are going to be like, online, where you put your order in and you get an autonomous vehicle, drives over to your house, and a robot comes out and I probably won't be around for any of this stuff, but I just think that they'll make, like, the crypto's fine. I don't see any problems with crypto working, but what they'll do is they'll, based on you and how many of their hurdles you jump through, right? Like, oh, you need this ID. Oh, you need this vaccine. Oh, you need this. You need to comply with this. This is the mandate. You have to do this. You have to do that. Otherwise, your access to the net will be revoked until you comply or whatever. I think that's what they're going to do. So the crypto, I think, is fine, but then they'll still, because I look at it like this, right? The people that run the show, they own everything, okay? They own the resources, the land, the freaking currency, for crying out loud. And all these people, this old world money, they're not going to give up their control, right? They're not going to give up. They're going to do everything they got to use it against us and remain in control. That's how I see it. So I think their only move, and if it ever comes to that, is going to be that they'll eliminate your ability to access your crypto via the web, right? So I think that's what they're going to do. So I don't have a problem with investing in crypto. I think it's a good deal to be diversified, have a little bit of everything, have some gold, some silver, some tangible goods, some food storage, some solar batteries, that type of stuff, and crypto, and maybe a little cash on hand wouldn't hurt either. That's how I see it. But I think ultimately, maybe not in our lifetime, or at least I'm probably a little bit older than you are, but I probably won't see it. But I think, like, the future, I think that's what they're going to do. But I think in the meantime, I think it's a good idea for most people to, get into it. You know what I mean? Into the whole crypto and invest. Because your money's sitting in the bank and stuff like that. It's not doing you any good. You're not getting anything for it. I think you're better off buying something that'll hold its value. Obviously, gold and silver and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I wanted to say, Karen. So you have a good day and keep up with the Monday night talks there.
All right.
I mean, Monday afternoon talks.
All right, thanks.
I'm a little tongue-tied here. Too much caffeine. But I love your show. I love listening to all your commentaries and stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
Yeah. Thunder Chicken is crushing. Do not get government crypto. It's not crypto. Exactly. Government crypto is not crypto. I think it's really important for people to understand that. Government crypto is not crypto. I feel like crypto is like the hack. It's the hack to the system. But you have to know how to use it right. You got to buy it's just like that. It's just that, it's exactly like that cliche thing from the stock market, right? Buy low, sell high. Same concept. And right now, everything is really, really low. So buy low. Then when the market goes up and you start to see new all-time highs, then you sell. Buy low and sell high. Buy low and sell high. You know what I'm saying? Assets are key. Yeah. Yeah, cash is king. I don't think they can ever I just don't know if they can ever fully get rid of cash. I just don't think so. I feel like if they were going to be able to get rid of cash, that it would have happened in Europe. Now, if it happens in Europe, if they start taking away cash in Europe, well, then we might be screwed. Anyway, I just think we need to start getting real savvy, y'all. As flat earthers, as researchers, we need to start spending our time looking into and learning about things that are going to make us savvy as fuck. Okay? Get savvy. Get with it. Learn the lingo. Learn how to use their own rules against them. This is what we need to be doing. This is what we need to be doing, in my opinion. All right? Let's learn. And this is part of the deception, right? They teach you that things work one way, but then they actually work another way. So what do we need to do? Well, get savvy. Get savvy. Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you to everyone who has been here today. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to quit bitching at everybody. And I want you guys to know that I truly care about all of us. I want us all to be successful. I believe we can be. I want us to really start building and just start creating. Really, I really truly believe that we can do this. We can actually create our own reality. It is physically possible. And I think that we are on the precipice of getting our hands and becoming educated enough to make that happen much, much quicker. You know, I think it's like a cumulative effect, right? So the more we learn, the more savvy we become, and the faster things are going to happen. I really believe that. So let's just keep it going, keep the ball rolling. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And come join me and Mark Sargent back again tomorrow evening here on this channel for Strange World. And then I will also be back Saturday for anti-religious scripture studies. And Mondays, of course, is Coffee Talk, which is what it is today. And I want to thank you all for being here. And thank you for your contributions. And that's it. I just, embrace it. Embrace what's happening. Be smart. Buy now and make money next bull run. It is in the time the market. Yeah. Not so much. Yeah, not so much timing. It's time in the market, not timing the market, right? Yeah. Final words by me. Pick up call. Oh, okay. Last call, Brian. Thanks for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B.
Hi.
Okay. Is there any echoes? Is the audio good?
Oh, you're good. How's it going?
I'm not too bad. It's been a while. You recognize this voice?
Well, I recognize the name, Brian O'Shea.
Yeah, I used to call in a little bit. It's been a while.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been hanging out with this weirdo Paul Enslaved. I don't know if you heard about him.
Oh yeah, I did a show with Paul. I stopped into his streams every now and then. He streams a lot.
Oh yeah, he streams twice a day, every day. That dude's an animal. Ask Thunder Chicken down there and chat all about him. He'll tell you all about him.
Is Thunder Chicken hanging out over there too? That's cool. That's good though. Paul is a good person for everybody to be watching because he's on that kick too, right? He wants everybody to understand how things are going and to know your rights and to be empowered, self-empowerment, understand your rights, right?
Yeah, he's all about it right now. Yeah, he's in a zone. He's dialed in. He's living it. He's got his number 2 on the show, El Perro, the Word Wizard. They're all about law. They're about not going into court. They're about driving around with no licenses. You brought up the real ID thing.
Mm-hmm.
No plates, no insurance, no tags, no VIN numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Just free as you can be. They talk about where these police pull you over. They're really just wearing a Halloween costume. So things could get weird. Paul doesn't believe in harming anybody, loss, injury, or harm, causing any of that. He'll hurt your pride or ego. But it's starting to get to a point where when these idiots in these costumes pull you over and try to extort you for money, we could treat them just like as they are. We don't have to treat them anything less than that. A fool in a costume trying to extort us for money. So he doesn't downplay if anyone does anything, out of pocket. But his thing is nonviolent, just put him in jail or kill him. That's his form of protest. But he doesn't discredit people if they treat cops how they these fools in costumes how they should be treated, like a fool in a costume, coming up and trying to extort money from you and take your freedoms away and have you scared when you shouldn't be. You should be a king and a queen and not scared. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm ranting a little bit.
No, it's true though. It's true. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, we got Eric Pavia down there. I seen him in Paul's chat. So I mean, you asked me what I'm up to, and that's what I do. I hang around Paul. I make my own videos. I check out you guys, and you know, I kind of wanted to come up there also to be like what do they call it? Like a concierge, like the guy who tries to mitigate beefs, like a middleman kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm all about this meltology movement too. You know what I mean? I just made a video about where I show these waterfalls, and I called it the broken plumbing of a great kingdom. So you know what I mean? I'm all about that stuff too. So I try to bridge a gap here. I know there's been some dissension between one community and another. So I try to come here with an olive branch. You know what I mean? Like what do they say? You know what I mean? Like try to reconcile, because I know there's a lot of love between different groups and different camps that are forming. You know, and I just want to bring that love and let it shine and bring that back into order. You know what I mean?
Okay, right on. But I will always disagree that mountains are melted brick buildings and that waterfalls are plumbings of old buildings. That makes no sense to me, though.
But that's awesome. That's awesome. You know what I mean? You don't have to jump on board, but you know what I mean? That's awesome that you think like that, because whatever, that's just how you think. Just like back in the day, some of us were like, flat Earth, that's insanity. How could you ever say the Earth is flat? And I don't even say the Earth is flat. I don't know what the fuck shape of anything is. I know it's not whatever the hell they're telling us. I know NASA ain't whatever the hell they're telling us. I don't know if space is water or empty or whatever the fuck anything is. I'm just saying, let's get to the love of the matter, though. We're all chasing truth, and I'm just gonna say it out loud. I know you and Jen have love for each other. You're two strong women, and you have love for each other, and there should be no beef. Like, there should be no beefs or animosity. It should just be two people chasing truth. And it should be all love. I picture it one day, you and her reconciling. I don't know if that has to mean you come into the meltology movement, but it's just
that will never happen.
There and you're winning.
Brian, that will never happen. I'm sorry, never. I will never become part of meltology. Nope.
We're living in the age though of miracles, and you're saying never. And I believe in miracles. I see it clear as day, because I know you're a beautiful, strong woman chasing truth, and I know she's a beautiful, strong woman chasing truth, and I see the reconciliation. You might not see it right now, but maybe
I won't say that I won't ever reconcile, or like I can't have a conversation, but I will never be in on meltology. And I also, you know, that whole scene kind of burnt a bridge with me, because I was asking, you know, legitimate questions in a nice way. I wasn't even being accusatory, and I was muted and booted from groups for asking questions. So once I found out that I wasn't allowed to ask questions and I was being muted, well, that's all I had to know about that.
Right. And I completely understand it. And what I'm realizing is, just like from this Paul and slave stuff, is that it's not so much about the information and whether the information is true. It's about your heart. Let me give you an example. I go to Paul and Slave because I want to learn about law, right? I want to learn about driving without IDs. I want to learn about standing up for myself in court and all these different things. But really what I got from Paul and Slave was believing in myself, believing in my ideas, and believing in me, believing that I'm worthy of good things. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not so much about whether the mountains are melted buildings or not. It's whether or not you guys are beautiful, strong women chasing truth. That's the heart. What is your heart? It's not so much about the facts and the specifics of the situation. It's about what is your spirit? What is your soul? This physical reality doesn't matter. It's all about the spirit and the soul. And I know you have a good spirit and a good soul, and so does she. And that's what I'm trying to point out.
Okay. Well, I never said she was a bad person.
Right. Right, but it gets crazy when we're very passionate about our ideas, and you know what I mean, and we feel like we've been disrespected and shit. So that's all I came up. I don't want us to come up here and take too much time. I just want to put that out there, put that seed, plant that seed, and let it grow. Maybe, you know, we'll see what happens with the seed that I'm planting. Maybe one day it'll be a beautiful tree that we could all sit under and enjoy the shade. You know what I mean?
All
so,
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
Thank you for calling. That's it. I was going to say thanks.
Thanks, Aaron. You know you got mad love in this community, I'm gonna be calling up and talking about other things too. I'm feeling myself right now, so I just be aware. I'm on the loose. I'm a wild feral animal.
All right. All right, Brian, you take care.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Peace, peace.
Bye. Yeah, I will never be part of Meltology. Ever. Just not going to happen because I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with the somehow, some way stuff melted and became something else, because you guys still don't even have an explanation for that. It's still somehow, some way, X Factor event, mystery event, somehow this thing mystically, magically turned into that thing. X Factor, mystery event, cymatics. Like, it just doesn't make any sense in reality. You know, and it's cool. It's cool if that's what you guys are into. I am not. I am into looking at information that I think actually has value and will, arm me with some sort of knowledge that can help me in future situations or help me reconcile things that I am trying to reconcile. And melted brick buildings from a mystery X Factor event just don't resonate with me at all. At all. And then also, no, lava doesn't prove meltology. Lava proves that there's lava rock, that there's magma under the ground. And when the magma comes out and hardens, it becomes basalt. That's what lava proves. You, Rogue River, are tripping. Lava created Earth. Is lava the god? How do you say lava created Earth? Lava created Earth. The god lava mystically, magically created Earth, and everything on Earth came from lava. Does that even make sense to you? I mean, can you people stop typing and verbalize it and say it out loud and record yourself saying it and then listen back to it and listen to yourself say this ridiculous shit? I mean, come on. Somehow, some way, there's a firmament. Well, I think if there's a firmament, it's crystalline. And we already know that crystals exist and crystals grow and form in many different ways here in this physical world. So that's called running your ideas through a reality filter. Does this happen in reality? Crystals grow, yes. Do bricks become melted and then turn into crystals in reality? No, they don't, because nobody has ever taken a red brick. Please just go take a red brick and melt it and turn it into a piece of quartz or a piece of labradorite or a piece of marble or anything besides melted brick. And then show me how that works, okay? I'm not what do you say, getting pushed over lava? No, it's getting pushed over dumb statements, over just saying words. Lava created the earth. What do you mean lava created the earth? Lava does not prove that the earth is created. Lava could just be part of it's just part of the system. It's part of the natural working system, right? Because everything is, it's electric, it's pressure mediation, heat and cold are part of the coefficients of how things work in this realm. So you have an underground heating source. The moon is cooling or whatever is cooling. Maybe cold is the natural thing, but you have to create the heat, and the whole heat and the cold work together. I mean, come on. Lava created the earth. Anyway. You guys, seriously, I mean, you can't just, here's the problem. People are making up stories that sound cool, and then they're trying to conjure up the evidence that backs up their story, except there is none. I mean, you can't just say somehow, some way this turned out that way, or somehow mystery event and pockets of survival and popcorn rocks and the ridiculous shit that people say. I mean, come on, you guys, let's filter this through reality. Whenever one of you melted brick people show me melted bricks that through your own experiment in a lab, just one brick, you don't even have to do a whole building. I will accept the evidence of one red brick being melted and vitrified and then turned into something else besides red brick. Like it could be anything. It just can't be red brick. It has to be turned into marble or quartz or anything besides melted red brick. Okay? Just one. You don't even have to do the whole building. Just one. Just one. Okay? All right. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I know I said I was going to end the stream and then I didn't, but I am for real. This time I have closed the phone lines, and I do appreciate everybody who called, everybody who commented, everybody who's here. I appreciate it. I really do. And I know that we all have differing ideas, and sometimes I am not very nice about my dissension from said ideas. But I have a lot of passion, and my passion is for truth. And I really just, I don't want to waste my time on things that I don't think are true. And so maybe that's my frustration coming out. But it is what it is. But anyway, I appreciate y'all being here, and I hope to see you all tomorrow night at Strange World with Mark Sargent. Have a wonderful day, y'all. And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations. And I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flattoberfests and Flat Earth-friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.